Today's video is a little bit special. It is a webinar that I recorded with Samuel from Bqool a couple of months ago, and basically in the first part of the video he shares a little bit about Bqool. He gives a lot of tips and insights that people do not necessarily talk about selling on Amazon, that can help you guys actually make a lot of money. Not only that, but after that, he also answers questions that the community asked on Discord. So yeah, we have a Discord server, link in the description if you want to join. So yeah, this is the first part of the video. The second part is already live on their channel, so go support their channel as well to thank them for coming on the channel. Not only for supporting this channel, but for coming and answering you guys' questions. So go on their channel as well, subscribe, like the video on their channel, because they have a ton of great content as well. So yeah, watch this video, go on their channel, say thank you, and enjoy. Alright, I'll see you later. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, depending on when you watch this video. Today we have a special guest on the channel. We have Samuel from Becool here with us today. He is a man of this, so this is why I had to dress a little bit nice today for this video. Because he's a fellow Lakers fan, and so I had to step my game up a little bit. So thank you so much for being here today with us, Samuel, and for answering questions from the community.
Hi, Chris. Thanks for the warm introduction. And go Lakers. I'm a Lakers fan. I'm hoping to see them in the finals. It'll be great if they're playing the Heats. But I'm open, but I'm a Lakers fan. So we're happy to share multiple winning repricing strategies today to help you win the Amazon buy box and also provide some selling tips on Amazon. Also, we're going to share with Bqool for people who don't know who we are yet, and we hope to provide a ton of value and answer all of your questions. So everybody who's watching this is going to get a better result in their Amazon business.
Great. Thank you so much. So do you want to start with sharing a little bit about Bqool, maybe?
So let me share who Bqool is. Bqool has been in the business for more than 10 years. We are the repricing experts, and we're number one on the market based on the number of users and also inside the Amazon App Store for AI Repricer and other review sites such as Capterra, Web Retailer, Trustpilot. You could check our reviews from our sellers. And we also have a very affordable price. So we have plans from $25 all the way up. We have people who are at 5 figures all the way to 8-figure sellers using Bqool. So we don't have a price wall. We want everyone to be able to enjoy and use the different features. And then we definitely want, you have a very good experience. We know how the Amazon business works, and we're experienced with winning the Amazon buy box. And we are also Amazon sellers, and we help manage many large Amazon seller accounts. So we understand sellers' pain points, and we listen to you. And we also have a large team of R&D engineers. We have the highest ratio of engineer to a non-engineer in the industry. So we have a lot of development. We have several different softwares, and we have all these new feature releases that we're going to do very shortly.
So Samuel, I know that you are at Bqool, you have a lot of data. Do you have any strategies that you can share with us to help all the beginners that watch this video that want to sell on Amazon, make money on Amazon? Is there anything that you can share with us?
So I do want to share this free handout, and we have it on the screen, what you should sell in 2023. And earlier we were discussing, about having a game plan as a professional athlete, as a coach when you're going to a game. So you want to lay out the different months in a year, and you want to put, some of the products that are going to sell better, and you want to have a different product strategies. And, if you want to make this amount of sales, you're going to need this amount of products to make sure that you are, buying enough products and selling them. Of course, you want to, buy profitable products as well. And then so based on the research we've done from our Bqool sellers and also a lot of online research and doing analytics through data, we think some of the best things to sell, for example, we're coming into June, would be like perhaps outdoor grills. A lot of people are having parties. In the summertime, there's also more swimwear and also sportswear. People are going to exercise more. Also beauty products, because now people are going out more as well in the summertime. And then in August, you have your school supplies. You might get backpacks. If you're selling textbooks, that's a good time to buy the textbooks earlier and then resell them in August as well. And then in December, there's lots of gifts and toys. And there's also different holidays throughout the year. For example, Father's Day is coming up. So if you guys are listening to this, I want to encourage all of you to buy gifts for your dad because it's really important. And Mother's Day, they get so many gifts, right? So Father's Day should get some gifts as well. So there's different holidays in the year. Also Prime Day, if you're doing more wholesale or doing private label. So there's going to be some coupons. Different dates you got to send your products in. What are your thoughts, Chris?
So I think what you said is major, because as an arbitrage seller, you know there's two different things that you want to look at. So you are mainly going to look for that arbitrage in between the marketplace, right? So for example, what is selling on Walmart cheaper than what it is selling on Amazon, right? But a lot of things that a lot of bigger sellers, and this is stuff that people have been discussing on our Discord lately, is you want to look at trends, right? This is the two things that you can look at. So on one end, you can look at trends, what is trending right now, what products are out right now, and on the other end is what sales is going on online retailers, right? And a lot of people do not focus on trends, as I said, and this is something that Samuel explained. So you want to buy products before they are actually trending. So for example, we are getting ready to get into the summer, right? People are going to do barbecue and stuff. So buy those grills, buy this stuff whenever it is not hot, so you can find it for cheaper. Because of course, you are not gonna buy ice during the winter, right? So it may be cheaper at that time. And if you actually can hold this product until when it becomes hot, you can sell this product for more money, right? And make bigger profits. So this is something that we do not look enough into as arbitrage seller. And thank you so much for sharing this, Samuel, because this is such a great strategy. And you should know, look at this graph, take a screenshot, do all that stuff, because look at what is going to be out for the next coming months, and you can take advantage of it, hopefully.
Yeah, and I think one thing I want to add too is a lot of times FBM is pretty underrated, uh, but for some of the larger items, you could actually use FBM, and there's some advantages of using FBM where you're able to replenish the item much faster. You don't have to wait for you to ship the products in. So if you see like a FBA product is selling really well, you could go out there if you're doing retail arbitrage, get some more of that, and you can use FBM to do some fulfillment of that as well. So it's a strategy that is underrated by a lot of FBA sellers, but I do want to
Mhm.
share that as well from our experience seeing a lot of success, especially for larger items. I had one friend of ours, he went out and picked up all of these chimneys. And, it was during COVID time. So, it might not work now, but everyone was staying at home and it was in the winter time. So all these people were buying chimneys, and he went around buying chimneys. It's kind of like buying swimming pools, But he bought chimneys, and he was able to sell those chimneys for a huge markup. He was able to get it at Home Depot for around $40, $50, and he was able to sell it for $120. Yeah, and some of it you even hand deliver it to people's homes. Yeah, I guess you got to do some risk in order to make some money.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly. And think a little bit outside of the box, instead of just always looking at the same product, looking at the same websites. Try to think a little bit out of the box, and um, you'll find some stuff that you would not necessarily expect that can make you a lot of money. Like, people try to stay away from those big products, but if you do it the right way, if you do it FBM, you can probably make a lot of money with it, and you just need to find a way to make it work for you.
So let's talk a little bit about how to win the buy box. And Chris, I want to ask you first, like, what are your thoughts? How can you win the buy box as an Amazon seller?
So I know that it is an algorithm, and I worked a little bit with algorithm in the past as I was doing SEO, and so there's multiple factors. No, I'm not sure that I know about every single factor, but I know that, of course, if you are here on the channel today, and if you have a business that is working in the repricing industry, it's because pricing is one of the big factors, right?
Yeah, definitely. Pricing, also where are you shipping it from, as well as what type of seller you are, whether you're FBA or FBM, because Amazon is going to get a bigger cut if you're an FBA seller. So they're going to definitely prioritize you because it's in their best interest to do so. But there's several different factors, and I do want to share with people some of the requirements to win the Amazon buy box. First of all, you have to be a professional seller account. So you have to pay the $39.99. And what are your thoughts about being a professional seller account or doing an individual seller account, Chris? What are your thoughts?
I think that whenever there's some important stuff like this, like because with the professional seller account, not only you're gonna save on fees, because if you are an individual seller, I think you pay a little fee per sale, right? If I'm not wrong. Yeah.
Yes,
So
you'll pay 99 cents for each individual item.
here you go. So make the investment. It's gonna pay itself back like super fast. And whenever there's some stuff like that, same thing as with a repricer, right? Just make the investment. It's gonna pay. Like it's way better than having you staying in front of your computer and changing your price yourself. So just make the investment. I did not know that it was a factor into winning the buy box, but if it is like truly, just make the investment. You're gonna save some money. You just need to sell 40 units a month to make it worth itself and pay itself back. So definitely, whenever there's something that you need to invest into to make your business better, just do it and do not try to count pennies.
I think when you first get started, and you've mentioned this as well, it's really important to first focus on sourcing because that's at the very start, right? If you don't have any
Mhm.
products, you don't make any money. So that's at the
Exactly.
start, of everything. So you need to do sourcing, and you would need to invest into Keepa, and then definitely you want to get a professional seller account because you have to build reviews, and this way
Mhm.
your profile is more suitable. And then you could decide whether to do an FBM or FBA. And then when should you get a repricer? There's two times that we recommend. You could start right away if you could afford it. You can start on the $25 plan and you can focus your efforts on sourcing. So that's one less thing to worry about. If you're doing a test buy at the very start, so one of the things that we recommend people to do is to buy an item and then you can easily replenish it. You could sell it at a fixed price for 30 days and don't change the price and just see if that item sells or not. So if you know that item sells, then you could go deeper into that item, and then you might do a pilot, maybe 5 to 8 pieces, if you're able to get this product replenishable. There are many instances where the discount only runs for a certain amount of days. So you're going to need to have some more experience and build up that rep as well. And then you could get a Bqool repricer, which will help you get into the buy box. Now, when should you upgrade? If you have more than 50 to 100 listings, you're making a few $100s of profit, right? It makes more sense. And then if you have maybe 100 listings and you're able to make $1 more for each listing, then it's going to easily cover you for the amount of the repricer. Now, the most important thing, if you don't remember anything, is to do the free trial and then test it out to see what kind of results you have. Chris, I want to ask you, what difference did it made after you switched over to an AI repricer compared to when you were doing a rule-based repricer?
It made a huge difference because after switching my plan from the $25 plan to the $100 plan with the AI rules, I just had my best day ever. I think close to $5,000 instead. I had 4,000 something, while my best before that, my best day was like 2,000 something. So it almost double my best day ever, and it was just by changing my repricing plan. But I want to ask you something, Samuel. How do you think instant, because you only get the instant repricing with starting with the $100 plan, right? So is that something that also gives you an edge when it comes to winning the buy box?
I think it definitely gives you an edge if you're selling arbitrage items, especially have more than 5 or 6 different offers on there. If you're doing private label, or let's say you're doing bundling, so there's very few competitors, but it's kind of more advanced. So if you're doing bundling, that would be like taking a mouse, taking a keyboard, putting it together as a package. But if you are selling like arbitrage items, things that are fast moving, it definitely gives you an advantage if you're able to reprice as fast as Amazon allows. We put 5 minutes, and it actually is faster than that in most cases. And the way that it works, the fastest that it can be, no matter who tells you this, is 30 times within an hour. So it's the fastest it could be is within 2 minutes. So our repricer is as fast as Amazon allows, so it's up to 2 minutes, but we put 5 minutes to be conservative. So you'll definitely reprice more. So when you're in the AI repricer, you could actually go to the price history to see how many times you repriced. And the way that you reprice, it also depends when we receive the SQS, which is there's a price change on Amazon. So if you wait 15 minutes, then there might be several price changes within that 15 minutes. But if you use the $100 plan, then it would do instant repricing. So if there's any price changes, you'll quickly reprice as well. So there's definitely advantages of using the 5-minute repricing. But don't take my word for it. Try it out in the 14-day free trial, and you're going to see the difference. Maybe you're using another repricer. Maybe you're using a rule-based repricer. You could just use our repricer, try it out. No credit card is needed, and you'll be able to see that how instant repricing compares to just regular repricing from other vendors or even from the rule-based.
That's great. That's great. And when it comes to repricing rule, and this is for the guys that do not necessarily have the money right now to invest into the $100 plan. What do you think make a great repricing rule? Whether it's a conditional repricing rule or just a rule-based repricing rule, what makes a great repricing rule, and what are the mistakes to avoid when creating your own rules?
So for the people who are starting out, if you're on the $25 plan and you just got into the business, I would recommend you to use match buy box. You're not targeting the lowest price, so you could actually make some profits. You can reinvest into the business, and the $25 is very affordable, and you can learn how to do the repricing. And for the competitors, it depends if you're an FBA seller or FBM seller. If I'm a FBA seller, I would just target other FBA sellers as well. Now, if I'm a non-featured seller, which I'm a new seller, then I'm going to have to be quite aggressive with my pricing in order to get some units moving. So in that case, I might go to target the lowest FBA price. But in most cases, I would recommend them to use match buy box so that they have a certain amount of profit. And this way, they're not going too deep into that product yet. And that's my recommendation for people that are starting out with using rule base.
That's great. And when it comes to, let's say, Amazon jump on your listing, what should you do?
So if Amazon jumps on your listing, the first tip is you do want to use Keepa. You want to use other tools to make sure that you're not on a listing that Amazon jumps on. But if it does happen, and it does happen, then you might need to see whether they're going to be on there for a while. They're going to sell out, and then you can continue having a higher price, or they're there to stay and they have hundreds of units, and it's going to be difficult, and you need that cash flow. So if you do need the cash flow, you're competing against Amazon, then we would recommend you in your rule base to set, if you're a FBA seller versus Amazon, around a 3% lower for an item that is around $25 or around 10 cents. You can also do 10 cents lower as well.
Thank you
For the
so much,
best
Samuel.
results, yeah. Let me just add one. For the best results, I would use the AI Sales Maximizer. Yeah, that's for the best results. Yeah, and then it's going to go very, very aggressive to get you that buy box.
So that is definitely something that I need to add in my own strategy, and that I would need to add into the handout that I have for the basic rules. So wait for an email, because I'm probably going to send you this. I'm going to probably make a new rule just for that, with what Samuel actually told us today.
I can even send you some examples. Yeah, we've
That
seen
would be
several
great.
examples but I'll probably block out the ASINs where we are able to beat Amazon, get the buy box, and then raise the price. But we beat Amazon by very little. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's not like you're making huge profit. I'll be honest, but
Yeah,
at
of
least you
course, of
sell the
course.
product. At least you get the buy box. You're able to beat Amazon. Yeah.
Well, sometimes you can actually make some good profit with products like that. I was able to do this when I was doing retail arbitrage, where you can find those. I'm thinking specifically about the Under Armour brand, where you're going to see Amazon having a lot of products with offers on, but you can sometimes find those products super cheap at stores like Ross and stuff, some shorts, for example, where you can find them for $3. Amazon sells them for $30, and you can probably jump on the listing a little bit under Amazon and make great money. So this stuff is super rare, but you can definitely make some money on ASINs like that. And with those rules and with those examples that Samuel is going to send us, we are going to be able to improve our rules, improve our strategy a little bit more, and make some more money.
That's right. I'm curious, Chris, and since I'm on the show here, I went to several Under Armour outlets, and they're selling the hoodies for around $20. And then if you buy how many, you might get another discount. But Ross sells it for even cheaper. So
Yeah.
how do you find such great deals at Ross?
So Ross is basically a store where they just sell stuff on discount. So they buy inventory from store that close, or just inventory that overstock, right? And so they can have those price, like they have products super cheap, and
Right.
sometimes they have their own supply chain, right? So sometimes they discount stuff even more, and so you are able to find stuff for super cheap. So for example, those Under Armour shorts that I was talking about, you can find them sometimes for $2.49. They have some period of the year where you can find stuff even at 99 cents. So this is something that you need to look into, and build your own game plan, because I talk about game plan. You need to build your own game plan for Rust stores as well if you do retail arbitrage, and know when you actually need to go and store. So I think those deals where you can find stuff like super cheap are usually around January, February. Do not quote me on that, because I'm not 100% sure. But if you do retail arbitrage, you can find a lot of profitable items, and potentially, if Amazon is on the listing, you can potentially compete with them, and you are going to find some great price at Ross that are unbeatable.
I love what you said, Chris said. For everyone who's watching this, I would recommend you to also join some Bolo, be on the lookout groups. And sometimes people post about the different stores that have a super good deal. And you can go and take a look at that. And especially if it's a local store, it's going to be hard for people to match that price as
Yeah,
well. So you're going to have like a
exactly.
pricing advantage against other people. And even for stores, like for example, recently, some retailers they're going bankrupt. That's a great time to go in and get a good discount and resell that product right on Amazon or other platforms as well. So even though we're an Amazon tool, I do recommend sellers to also have other platforms as well to sell. So you're not just selling on Amazon. If it doesn't sell, you get a refund. You can still sell it on eBay. You can still sell it on other platforms as well.
I totally agree. With returns and stuff, sometimes you cannot sell them on Amazon. There are some products sometimes that you are gonna buy. You are gonna buy a huge amount of inventory, and then something's bad happen with the ASIN, with the listing on Amazon. You need to have those exit routes, right, where you can get money back. Maybe you're not gonna be able to get your whole investment back, but you want to be able to liquidate stuff like that fast. And this is where you are gonna look at eBay, Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, maybe. But you need to have those exits where you can make your money back, reinvest your money back into your business, and keep growing it, right? Do not
Yeah,
just
absolutely. Yeah, I
throw money
love
from
Facebook
the train.
Marketplace as well because there's 0% fees at the moment.
That's great. I've never sold over there, to be honest. I just try to stay on eBay, but like definitely this is something that I should look into as well. So we had a few questions from the Discord server. I was also curious about some stuff myself, so we are gonna start asking those questions to Samuel, and hopefully he can give us the best answer we can, because we're getting the answer straight from the source, right? From the main guy. He's the guy. So I'm going to start with the first question. And Samuel, I assume that, with Bqool, you have a lot of data, right? You can see what feature people are using, what feature people are not using. So, what is a feature that you feel is underrated and that a lot more sellers should look into with Bqool?
Thanks for asking that. I think the conditional repricing is not being fully utilized. A lot of people don't know about this feature because it's quite new. And there's different types of repricing, such as inventory-based repricing, such as repricing based on sales. Earlier, I talked about the technique where you can have a fixed price for 30 days. And this is for test buys to see whether this product is going to move or not. You could actually use a conditional repricing to set that up as well. And also using a liquidation in their strategy. So you're able to use the Bqool repricer for a liquidation, and we actually have videos that teach you how to do that. Another feature that isn't being utilized by most sellers is the scheduler feature. So you could actually reset your prices in the low traffic hours, usually between 1 to 3 a.m., and then you might be able to reset your prices. Usually, if it's on a listing that has less than 10 offers, 10 to 15 offers. If it's more than 15 offers, especially if there's a lot of FBA sellers, then it might not work as well. So these are the two features I would recommend people to use that they're underutilizing, and I see that they could use that a lot. We also have a learn more feature in our software so that you can learn about each of the different features. And you could also use the price history, and you could check how did you reprice? How did you reprice against your competitor? And by using the price history, if there's a competitor that keeps beating you, you can go and do reverse sourcing. You can go into their Amazon store and see what other products they have, and perhaps you can reverse source those if you can find a profitable source.
That's great. Thank you so much for this. And definitely the conditional, I can tell myself I've never used once the conditional rules. So this is definitely something that I need to look into to improve my business. So we can find videos directly on your YouTube channel to learn about those rules.
Absolutely. Yeah, we have different rules, and there's two that I would recommend if you're watching this. One would be products that you could get more profits from. And then I'm just going to give you guys a screenshot to show you the settings. I'm not going to go into the specifics today. There's a whole video that teaches you how to do that, but there's different scenarios. So I'm going to just share my screen here. And the first scenario is when you have low inventory and it's a popular product. For example, if I'm able to get this mouse on a very special discount when there's very few competition out there offering the same price, and this is the last one I have, I could actually price it higher and maximize my profit. I could also increase my min price automatically using our conditional repricing. So I could do that by having my available stock, and then based on the number of sales, I could actually increase my min price automatically for an item that is selling well, and it's a popular item that I know is going to sell out. And then the second strategy that I want to recommend people is a liquidation strategy. So a lot of sellers, they'll try to cling on to their products. Like they're like, oh, I must make 30% ROI, which is great when you're starting out. But if it's after 30 days, after 60 days, and it's hit 90 days, now the Amazon fees are coming in every single month. And also in April, the disposable fee of Amazon doubled. So it used to be 75 cents, 80 cents. Now it's $1.50. So you really need to watch out when your products are over 90 days. And then when it gets to 181 days now, there's even additional surcharges. So my recommendation is definitely to have a overstock liquidation strategy in your game plan, and also a profit driven strategy for products that are very popular and that you have low inventory.
So before Samuel actually exposed me for that, I should say I'm guilty of this myself, and I will need to watch those videos on the Bqool channel. So I will leave a link in the description for the video on the conditional repricing rule because I've been lacking myself. So don't don't scream at me, Samuel. I'll work on that. I'll actually start to watch the videos more and actually start to learn those strategies. But talking about rules, right? What is the main benefits of using AI rules compared to the regular rules on Bqool?
I'm glad you asked me that. And the main benefit of using the AI rule, there's 4 or 5 different benefits. And the first one, you're going to maximize your sales, and then the second one, you're going to maximize your profits. So how do you maximize your sales? Because you aggressively seize the buy box. So in your example that you shared with us, you had $2,000 a day and you went up to $5,000 a day, and that's because you're able to aggressively get the buy box, and then you're able to then start incrementally reprice up. So the main benefit, 3 main benefits: you maximize the sales, you maximize the profits, and then you're able to maximize the profits because now you have machine learning. We learn how the other competitors behave on that specific listing. We know when they're going to price down, when they're going to price up, and then we know that in our intelligence, and we've learned that. So then we're going to reprice to a place where they will not, where we're going to get the buy box and keep the buy box, without letting the competitors get the buy box from you. And then the setup is much easier and more simple. So I know the reason, in that you haven't gone to conditional repricing, and you don't feel bad about it. Like everybody's the same. Is it's already working for you. So if it's working good for you, why change, right? But With conditional repricing, you could use all 5 of the different AI rules. So it's like the next version of the AI repricing, because you could use all of the rules. And earlier, somebody asked us, if I use a conditional repricing rule, if I use a AI rule, does that take up one of my listings? Well, the good news is this: if you use conditional repricing, you can use all 5 AI rules. We don't charge you extra for that. You can use all 5 of them for the different conditions, the different scenarios, and we don't charge you extra. Yeah.
And talking about those 5 AI rules, I know a lot of beginners are pretty much um, confused on which rule to choose, but I assume that it's pretty much a spectrum, right? So you have the profit maximizer on one side and the sales maximizer on that side. How does that work exactly? Which rule should you choose?
So we actually have a handout, and we also made a YouTube video about this. And on the left-hand side, we do have the AI sales maximizer, and then on the right-hand side, we have the profit maximizer. Yeah. So let me just find the slide so I could share it with you, so everybody could see they could easily follow along, and they can take a screenshot of this. They could also download this. I'll send you the PDF so you could pass it to your community as well. So let me just share that on the screen right here. So when you look at this, whether you want to have higher sales or higher profits per unit profit. And the next thing you want to look at is whether you have a lot of stock or very little stock. So based on, how much stock you have, you will decide how you want to reprice. You could also look at your competitors as well, using their competitor analysis tool to see, who are the competitors on this. Usually I'll do this if it's for an item that I have a huge available stock in, because I'm not going to do that for every single product right here. But we have different strategies. On the left-hand side is a liquidation. So products that you want to get rid of, such as maybe it's a seasonal item, maybe it's a perishable item, maybe it's a meltable item that that has an expiration date, or maybe it's a topical product that has expiration date. So for those type of items, I would have a liquidation strategy. If it's over in maybe 90 days, then I might put it into the AI sales maximizer. And then for the AI profit maximizer, earlier I talked about the mouse. That will be an item that I will put on the AI profit maximizer. If you're not sure and you're just starting out, just pick the middle. Pick AI equalizer, which gives you an equal amount of sales and profits, and you can adjust as you go. So it's very simple. If you don't know what to do, pick the AI equalizer.
And guys, before we go even further, make sure to subscribe to Bqool channel. Make sure to subscribe to their YouTube channel, because stop listening to guys like me who do not understand the stuff. Go straight to the source. They are over there. You can watch their content. They explain to you everything about repricing. So why are you even asking a guy like me, right? You can go straight to the source. They have all the information. Subscribe to their channel, like the video because it's super helpful, and learn about repricing because you are lacking. There's a lot more stuff that you can do to get that incremental improvement to your business every single day, right?
Thanks for that, Chris. And for everybody, I wouldn't say Chris is quite advanced, right? He's made hundreds of thousands of dollars on Amazon, and he even shares some of his personal rules. So you do need to subscribe to his newsletter to be able to get that. He also has a very nice flow. I don't think I've seen anyone else with such a great flow of how to pick your repricing rules, whether you're on the $25 plan, whether you're on the $50, whether you're on the $100 and up. So there's a big spectrum, from a 5-figure seller all the way to 7 or 8-figure seller. So you could definitely check out what Chris has said from his own experience that's worked from him. Yeah. So if you're in the same boat, if you're just watching this, if you're just starting out, make sure to follow Chris. He came from $3,000 to over hundreds of thousands of dollars on Amazon, and he's growing and he's putting in the work, and it's amazing.
Thank you so much, Samuel. And so let's move to the next question. So, repricing is at the same time, it's an art, it's a science. But what do you think is some of the most important skill that an Amazon seller needs to develop to be effective at actually repricing their inventory, pricing their items?
So when you are developing skill sets. And what's really important is to set the correct mins and max. So it's about setting the pricing correctly. So you could pick all whatever repricing rule you want, but you need to have enough room for the repricer to work for you. So that means that you have to get good at sourcing. So if you want to get good at sourcing, you want to know, using the different credit cards, cashback. You want to be able to use the coupons. You want to, be able to get the special offers. So you're able to get products for a good price. And then once you have that good price, you have more room, more buffer. Then you want to set the correct min and max. So to set the correct min price, you can look at, our competitor analysis tool, which I'm going to share with you guys, and this will give you an overview. And let me just find the competitor analysis tool here for everyone so you could see it. And then with the competitor analysis tool, you'll see what type of sellers are on there. Are they FBA sellers? Are they FBM sellers? And then you want to know who the sellers are. And so we have a competitive analysis tool which will help you decide what your min and maxes are. So again, it gets back to having the right min and max, and you don't want to get the listed as well. So you can look at the competitor analysis to give you an idea. You can also want to check Keepa. You want to know what the prices are. What is this product selling for the last 3 months, the last 6 months? And then if you price it near the buy box, then you'll be able to get a better price. So it takes time, but you could definitely learn. And there's so many listings, and from experience, you'll know how to reprice. Generally, we recommend people to have at least a 30% ROI, but it really depending on the product and where is it in the product life cycle. Is this product are you going to liquidate that product, or is it a new and upcoming product where there's more and more demand for it? So you'll reprice differently as well. But as a general rule, I want you to focus on sourcing and building those additional compounding discounts, so you're able to have more buffer room for your min price and your max price. And then check the competitive analysis tool, and then you can set your min price and max price accordingly, because we want you to be profitable.
As Samuel said, it's so important to build that moat around your product, right? And being able to have that buffer. So I have that spreadsheet that you can use in the description that I use all the time to compute my cost, calculate my cost, and using the coupons, stacking up that with gift cards, stacking up that with cashback. Do this to be able to have as much room as possible to reprice and have the repricer work for you. So you need to give him some room to work, right, Samuel?
Yes, absolutely. You want to have the buffer for that, for sure. Because the reason is Amazon gives us the top 20. So if you're outside of the top 20 and your min price is really high, then your product is not going to reprice. But if you're outside of the top 20 and your min price is low enough to go into the top 20 and you're using the AI repricer, then we're going to help you get into the top 20 and get you a chance to win the buy box.
Guys, let's move now to the question asked by the community. We have some people, this is another question that was asked by the community, and sometimes when they have products selling on Amazon that just starting to sell on Amazon, they still see the product as unavailable, inactive on Bqool. Why is that, and what should you do in that case?
So sometimes you'll see that in Amazon Seller Central, the product is active, and then on Bqool is inactive. And the reason for that, it's Amazon hasn't sent the information to Bqool, and they haven't reported it in the report. So Bqool has already fully upgraded to the new API, the SP API, which will pull in the new reports, usually within a few hours. But sometimes Amazon doesn't update it, so we don't get the report. Now, this issue is the same for any repricer out there, and also inventory-based software as well. But we have updated to the latest SP API, so we can receive all of the reports from Amazon. Now, if you still don't see the active listing in Bqool, then what you can do is take a screenshot and send it to our support at Bqool.com, and we'll look at the backend from you and see if Amazon has given us that report, And we talk directly to Amazon, so we could help you with that as well. And one last thing, even though if it shows that it's inactive in Bqool, it is still repricing for you. So it's still repricing if it's able to reprice. So you don't have to worry about that.
I didn't know that. And when it comes to, it's a pretty similar issue, but we all hate to receive those emails from Amazon where when your offer is being deactivated, whatever, because your price is too high, too low. How long does it take for Bqool to actually pick the product back up when you actually fix that issue on Amazon and start repricing again?
That's a good question. And how long it takes, it depends on this factor, the most important factor. So if your product is delisted, number one thing you got to go into is to go into Amazon Seller Central. And this is the SOP to solve that. First, you need to change your prices in Amazon. So before you don't need to insert a min and max price in Amazon, but if it's get delisted, you must insert a min price and max price inside Amazon Seller Central. After you finish doing that, you can go into the delisted tab. And let me just share with you what that looks like inside the Bqool software so you could actually see it for yourself. I'm a big believer of seeing. So I'm a visual person. So let me share my screen with you here. So inside the Bqool, we have the listed tab here. So the second step is now to change that min price and that max price to within the price that you set on Amazon, within the min and max price you set on Amazon. This way, your product will not get delisted. Amazon will know that it's within the range. And then usually it was pretty quick, 1 to 2 hours, and it would start to work again. If it doesn't work, after that, please contact our support as well. But the most important thing is to quickly fix the issue inside Amazon Seller Central. And I will even tell you why you will get your listing delisted. Most of the time is your pricing, your max price too high. So in that case, use a competitor analysis, check that listing, use Keepa, check what's the highest price that it's sold in the last 6 months, and then put your max price to that. Usually that's going to fix your issue.
Amazing. So let's talk a little bit about the conditional repricing, right? So you can do some rules for liquidating, your inventory if your inventory is more than 6 months old, let's say 3 months old, to avoid paying those extra fees that you would pay for the long-term storage, right? So a lot of guys do not really know, but is Bqool actually able to track your inventory based on its age? And sometimes like, how does it work with the pricing? Because sometimes you may have bought 10 units at $10.15, a little bit more expensive when you buy the next 20 units. How does it work with those conditional rules? Does it look at that price? Can it track like the inventory age for all of those different prices?
I'm glad you asked me that. Let me share with you a screenshot here so that you can see. This is our conditional repricing using inventory-based repricing. And you're going to see that we have 365 days at the top, and then the days go lower and lower. So this is done by design. And the reason it is because the conditional repricer starts chronologically. So we're going to set up from the longest time you have in inventory to the earliest time. So we will actually sell off your overstock products first. So you're not going to incur additional storage fees before we get to the newer products. So it's going to go down that. So we're going to reprice your higher, your storage products that's been there long term differently than when it's get to 0 to 30 days, a new product that you sent in. So I hope that answers your question.
That's amazing. That's exactly what we were waiting for. And now let's talk a little bit about the AI, maybe. So, everybody's talking about AI right now with Chat GPT. It's really buzzing right now. And so people get a little bit smarter, understand a little bit how it works. And people are wondering in what way the Becool AI is learning. What does it look at? Or is it trying to improve your strategy? How does it really work?
Chris, I want to answer this question in a more technical way, but I'm not going to get into too technical of the details. So here we have our AI repricing model, and basically based on the FTC guidelines, the Federal Trade Commission, for an AI to be AI, it needs to have a model with different variables. And you cannot exaggerate the results. Your sample size needs to be large enough. You also to have machine learning so you can continue to improve the performance. And you could also, uh, in our AI model, we've been doing this for over 2-3 years, and we did study, long time before that, more than 5 years for this. And then the way it works is a little bit different than ChatGPT. So ChatGPT is going to scan the internet and give you the probability. And every time you check, it's going to give you some different results based on different probabilities. But for Bqool, we cannot act like that because we have to be very precise because we're talking about your prices and we can't give you the wrong price. Otherwise, we're going to get a lot of complaints. So the way that we work, we have a centralized learning model. We take into account 12 years of historic data. We take the multiple variables. There's different factors, and we'll weigh the factors differently. And then we do fine tuning. So the fine tuning is when we get new data that comes in. And we have a large customer base, so it's very accurate. Then we learn also on the listing, the specific listing. So we have the centralized learning model, and then we have the account-based learning model based on that specific ASIN. So when you win, then we're going to make a note of that. When you lose the buy box, we'll make a note of that. And pretty soon, once we train it, we'll learn, and it's very intelligent, that we know that you have to reprice by $1.17 to win the buy box. So when you look at the price history, it's going to increase. It's not going to slowly go down to the price that you win the buy box. It's kind of like a boxer, right? Like you're fighting against Mike Tyson. You're fighting against some of the heavyweight champions. They do one punch and you're gone. So it goes in, does the one punch, get you the buy box, and it starts incremental repricing back up. And that's why we have the repricing engine, which is going to predict whether you're going to go up, go down, or stay around the same price. And then it's going to win the buy box for you. So it's designed to win the buy box and then to incremental reprice up. But we left it open a little bit where you're able to tweak, where you're able to decide whether you want to focus more on sales or more on profits. And that's the difference between the 5 different AI rules we have.
I see. And talking about AI, with so many repricing tools, with so many repricing software, what does Bqool do better? How does Bqool differentiate itself? And why should we choose you guys? Why should we believe in you guys? What makes you actually the best repricing tool?
We believe we're the best repricing tool because we offer true AI, and we also have a large team of AI engineers that's been with us for a long time. We also have a model. So based on what the FTC guidelines says, you need to have a model. We're willing to show our model. We're not talking up in the clouds, things that you can't see. You can go into the price history. You can see how we actually reprice. You can see we reprice a lot more once you turn on the AI as well. And we also have different variables. We also have machine learning, so we can actually incremental reprice up. And we give you the solid results. Chris, I want to ask you, why do you use the Becool AI repricing?
So because it just make it so much easier than you've seen it. You've seen my rules, the rules that I made when I was working without the AI repricing, and you just need to find something every single time for every case scenario that can arise, right? And you just gave me one more to work with the Amazon. When Amazon jumps on your listing, which is something that I did not do, and so there's all those little scenarios where you actually need to have a different rule or you're not going to win the buy box. The AI repricing rule, in my experience, are going to, you're just going to be able to set one rule and just forget about it because, it's going, you've seen the flow chart yourself, right? So going
Yes.
through that every single time that you look at an AI, at an ASIN, it's painful. At one point, it's painful. And, I tried to stick with it as long as I could. And actually, at one point, I did not have any asins, like any listings, like you have a limit of listings that you can have, right? And so I was forced to upgrade because I went over the 1000 listings, right? But this is the best thing that happened in my business in the last few months because it was painful to go through the flow chart all the time and changing the rules and stuff. This is one less thing that I need to do, and that gives me more flexibility to be able to do other stuff instead of just sitting in front of my computer, looking at the flowchart and changing the rules, right?
Yes, absolutely. So it definitely saves you a lot of time. And now with conditional repricing, it's like repricing AI 2.0. You could use all five of the AI rules within one CR rule, and you don't get charged five times. You just get charged just by one CR listing. So it's a no brainer, right? If it works, if you're able to make $100 more, you could try it out. And there's a 14-day
Exactly.
free trial. There's no credit card is needed. So, hey, why don't you take it for a spin? Just try it out using Chris's link.
Exactly, exactly. And we talked about flexibility, buying back time. And one of the perks of being an Amazon seller, and especially if you do something like online arbitrage, right? Because it's a little bit different if you do wholesale, right? But with online arbitrage, you potentially have, that flexibility to walk from a beach, walk not necessarily sitting in front of a computer, right? Because you're location independent. Is there any plan for Bqool to work on maybe an iPhone app, an iPad app, so you do not have to necessarily have your computer to work on your business?
I think at this moment, not at this moment, like we rather focus on resources giving you more features, and we have a lot of new updates coming. But if a lot of sellers, they comment below, let us know. There are some challenges because there's so many different versions. Right, you have different phone sizes as well. Like I've developed an app before, both for iPhone and also for Android, and it's very time consuming because there's the UI. You have to, do many sets of UI. There's also a different group of engineers as you will. I've also used some of my competitors' product and I find them a little buggy. Yeah, I won't name who they are, but I don't find them very useful. So I think, as a remote worker, you're still going to use your laptop for the time being. But if there's enough people who request for it, we can make it happen. Yeah, so it's in a matter of demand because we want to satisfy sellers' demands.
So, guys, you know what he told you. If this is something that you want, leave it in the comments. They are going to look at the comments. Go on the Bqool YouTube channel. Leave a comment over there. Go on their live call because there's just so much value in their live call. And tell them over there as well. If this is something that you really want to, they are listening to you. So go over there and ask them over there and see what they say. This is a feature that you may see in the future if there's enough demand. So let's touch on something that we may have talked a little bit earlier. I do not remember if it was on this video or on the video on Bqool's channel. Link in the description for the video, the webinar we did on their channel. But at what point should a seller start using a repricer, in your opinion?
In my opinion, when you can make more money to cover your repricing costs. So you're able to sell an extra $100 using a repricer, then you can invest into the $100 plan. Usually, we found that if you have more than 50 to 100 listings, also, if you're new and you can't sell your product and you want to get more reviews, you want to build more reviews, then that might be a good time to start using a repricer. And you told me earlier that you started using a repricer as soon as you started your Amazon business. It's part of your expenses. So that would be my recommendation. And you could use Chris's link below, and he could send you additional repricing strategies, especially if you want to just start out with the $25. That is fine too. We don't have a big paywall. We welcome all the sellers, and we really appreciate all of you guys.
Thank you. And last question to end this call, because I know Samuel has stuff to do and we are not going to hold him much longer, right? But what is next for Bqool? What is coming?
We have a lot of new updates that are coming every single quarter. I can't go into very specific details right now, but definitely pay attention to our channel. Definitely follow the YouTube channel. What I can tell you, we're going to make huge improvements in Europe. So if you're in Europe, you're going to be very excited to be using our repricer. We're also going to improve the UI as well. We also have new features for US, and we're going to have request. We're going to fulfill all the requests that customers ask us, and we're going to have new updates every single quarter. So definitely make sure to follow us. And if you start using Bqool today, you'll be grandfathered into all of those new features. The price could increase. We're using very expensive AWS servers. We have over 800 Amazon AWS servers, but we use so many servers that we're a case study on the Amazon webpage. You can actually search Bqool Amazon. You're going to find us on Amazon's webpage. And then definitely, follow us, follow Chris. And if you don't remember anything, just do the free trial in the link below. It's free, so it's not going to cost you anything. My encouragement for you, if you're not selling on Amazon, start selling today. First use an individual account, sell on the Facebook Marketplace, get a hang of getting products and reselling them, and get that extra stream of income. And then train your muscles day by day. Spend maybe 30 minutes, an hour at the start, and then increase that, and keep on doing those reps. And I'm pretty sure if you don't make money on Amazon, you will find other ways to make money.
Exactly. And as he said, even if Amazon does not work for you, you are going to learn some skills that may translate into your next business venture. As I always say, do the most you can. You can make it work. If it does not work, you are going to have some baggage that you can use in your next business venture. But guys, let's thank Samuel for coming on the channel. Thank you so much, Samuel. Leave thanks in the comments. I do not care. Like, go on their channel, spam the comments on the video we did as well on their channel. A lot of value over there. Thank you so much, Samuel, for coming on the channel and answering the community's question. It's much appreciated.
Thank you very much, Chris, for your time today. It's an honor and privilege to be in your community. And if you guys have any questions, definitely reach out to Chris. Chris has a direct line with Bqool, so we're going to be answering his questions. We're going to prioritize it. We really appreciate Chris. And also follow our channel so you can see the interview we did with Chris. Thank you very much, Chris.
Thank you. And yeah, as you said, follow the channel. There's just so much stuff over there that I need to watch myself, that, I need to get into that conditional repricing, all that stuff. So follow the channel. Go to the source of the information. Get your information at the right place. You're going to be successful. Thanks for watching. Go follow Bqool. Go follow Samuel. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.
See you guys later. Thank you.